everybody should be stretching. Big stretch. I want a big stretch like a dog. They get down and they stretch their whole entire body out.
And that's like a yoga pose.
Yeah, it's like downward dog. That's what it is. Downward dog. Big stretch. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. This is Saucy and Friends, your favoriteest morning show in all the land. This is where you tune in to get your day off to a good start and find out what is going on in this world, what is about to happen, and what we're solving in crime mysteries. Is Carmen Sandiego. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Quick check-in, Miss Tony. How you doing, honey?
I'm doing pretty good. I went to bed early last night, 12:30. That's better than 4 o'clock. So I'm good. I feel a little slightly refreshed. I would like to take a nap. But aside from that, everything's nice. I had the best conversations yesterday. Throughout the day, I had really good conversations. Where's your mic at? It's right here.
I can hear you. Yeah.
I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking in it. So yeah, I had some really good conversations yesterday, which was really nice because I'm a conversationalist. I like to do that.
Conversationalist.
A conversationalist. And I had some really good conversations. And I really enjoyed
Where
that.
are you finding these conversations?
I mean, just several different areas, like people that I already know, people that I'm getting to know. But it was just really nice. Like the conversation style was really nice. And it was really like nice, good conversations. I loved that. That made me feel really good yesterday. And that was that. My mom brought me lunch yesterday, which was also really nice. And
what y'all had?
She bought me a burger from Evergreen.
Wow, that's crazy. Why? Because I don't like burgers.
She got a chicken sandwich. Did he ever get it?
No.
Oh, so I don't know, because she definitely bought a chicken sandwich for him, and she was looking for it last night, and she don't know what happened to the chicken sandwich.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not at my house, so I don't know.
I wish he had that chicken sandwich so I could have ate my food by myself.
So I started watching Fire Country yesterday, season 2, finally. So got into that.
Season 2? We're on season 3, honey.
I know, I realized that. But, I just finished Cobra Kai the other night, so now I'm into Fire Country, and hopefully I will finish that soon. But there's so many things to watch. I tried to watch Lioness yesterday. I don't know what was going on in the episode of Lioness that I was watching, but every other word was the F-bomb.
Loved it.
Lioness
with Zoe Saldana?
Zoe Saldana, yeah.
But it was like F. And I was like, this is sharp. It's harsh. So I had to turn that off and watch something nice and calm like Fire Country. But aside from that, I had a really good evening. And today seems like it's going to be a good day. Claiming it.
Claim it.
Have a good day on purpose.
Claim it on the rain.
Yes.
Rain. Sorry.
Somebody said the other day that this is going to be the year that Triz labels all the sound effects right. I just want to let you know, it's not that I don't have them labeled right. It can't catch up with me properly. It's just lagging, a little slag.
And how about you, Tristan? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm barely waking up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when it's really cold, one of the hardest things to do is to get up.
Yeah.
And that's unfair, but the sun is shining,
And then we had so there's been like new plumbing done in the house.
Oh.
And it's affected my shower. So it takes a really long time for it, and then when it comes out, it's very like cold? It's not the pressure is very like slow pressure. Or whatever.
That's one of the things I really hate is a bad shower.
My shower, not only is it tiny, but it also takes about 4 minutes for it to get hot. So I be sitting there like shivering in my skivvies,
waiting. Claustrophobia.
Yes.
Do you get claustrophobic in that shower?
Do all the time. Like, you know what? It's not claustrophobia. It's anger.
Yeah.
It's anger because every time I go in there, I feel like I gotta get like this. And turn slowly. It's just mad tiny.
It's small.
When I feel like maybe they could have given me more space.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, when I get my money, when I hit my mega millions, I'm going to fix my bathroom. It's going to be one big shower.
One of our aunts, every time when she gets her money, boy, I can't wait till my aunt gets this money that she's going to get because she is taking care of the family. And she's been trying to get that money for about 40 years
40
now.
years.
Ain't gambled, played a lottery or nothing. But she's like, when I get my money, don't worry. Everybody's going to be all
Where is
set.
the money from?
But yeah. That your shower kind of reminds me of like an MRI.
Jeez, yeah, like you go into this thing to get images.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tight.
Toy.
But anyhow,
same with me. Just kind of going through life little by little. I did get so much accomplished yesterday. I had some really, really great conversations and really good meetings. And I won't say I'm excited about the year yet. I will say I am what is it called? Apprehensive. Optimistic.
apprehensive is the opposite.
That one. I'm apprehensive and optimistic. Duality here. I'm a Libra.
Enthusiastic.
Yes, I'm enthusiastic. I'm not definitely not enthusiastic. There's no excitement in my heart about this year. But I am looking forward to what this year brings. I want to be positive yet realistic. I'm looking forward to it, and we will take it at the chin.
You want to hear a joke?
Yep.
I was most enthusiastic in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know what it
Why
meant.
you say it's a joke,
like, what's
Tristan?
that?
Why you
Thank
can't be
you.
still
I don't know what it
enthusiastic?
I didn't know what it meant. But okay, I got it. I'll take it.
Yes, that's me. I am that one. But anyways, let's get this show started. Today we talked to Shagun Idowu from the Office of Inclusion and Economics and the Office of the City. Yes, that one. He will be coming in to talk to us and getting us ready and prepared for the new year, finding out how the city of Boston is posed to help the citizens and business owners of the city. And this will be fun and great and wonderful.
Insightful.
Yes, so make sure that you guys keep it locked, tuned in. And that's going to be happening around the 10 o'clock hour. So let's get this show on the road. Spark FM, Saucy and Friends officially starts right now.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Julius.
The all-new Spark FM.
What is this, Doctor?
This is the Spark of New England, Spark FM.
Bringing the heat back to the airwaves.
Turn us up.
All right, let's take a look.
All right, today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It is January 8th, and it's about 9:33 a.m. For those of us who have no idea what day of the week or year or whatever is going in. I think it gets a little bit better around these times. You start to figure out. Because the end of the year, ain't nobody know what day, what time, what the number was, nothing. Every day was Friday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
or
sometimes
sometimes
Sunday.
with the holidays falling right in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
It was just like the day after the holiday was definitely Sunday.
Yep, absolute.
Or Monday. Yeah.
And then the rest of the week followed suit because Friday was Tuesday.
Yep.
It was just very, 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 very weird.
Yeah.
A mix of clouds and sun with gusty winds, high of 26 degrees. It currently feels like 8. 8. That's where we're at. Yesterday it was 2. Boy, we are warming up. It is summertime out here. It's 8. Feels like 8. Winds in the west, northwest at 20-30 miles per hour. So it is pretty windy out here. Remember in the summertime, we were getting winds of like 5 to 10. We're at 20 to 30 right now. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour, making it even more cold. So if you are outside today, I feel badly for you because it is cold and you should hurry up and try to get inside. That's where you belong. Inside. Inside. Wow. Let's get into the around the way news. Give me a second. Let me just share the stream, which a lot of you guys are not doing.
Run it up.
Join us for Boston's best morning show.
I like this.
That's what I wrote. Everybody else, go ahead and write the same thing. Just share it, even if you don't want to write a caption. Ain't nobody gonna know to tune in if y'all is not letting people know to tune in.
Exactly.
You should do an ad like that. That's like, it sounded like
yelling?
AI turning black.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do that. Can we record that right after?
Yes.
I don't have social media. Send it to your mass text it to your friends.
Yeah.
Put it in the group chat, because I know you got a lot of group chat. Say, hey, are you guys turned in to Saucy and Friends in the Morning? This is Boston's urban radio show. Why are you listening to anything else except for us? Get it together, people. This year, we're not playing with the listeners either. We've been sitting here coddling the listeners for the last 4 years. We're not playing with y'all no more. Either y'all start to listen, or you don't. But,
or you don't.
but you should.
Either you hip or you ain't.
Yeah. Even you in the know or you not.
Yeah.
Or you
Either
don't
you
know.
down or you not down.
Yeah.
Either you is or you ain't.
Exactly.
Right. Is you is or is you ain't.
Is you cool or is you not cool?
Right.
Because if you the only one, don't be harboring us either or exclusivizing us. We are not exclusive. We for the streets. Put us in the streets. Damn it.
For the streets.
We for the streets, Tristan.
We are for the streets.
Tristan, we for the streets.
Yeah.
Spark FM is for the streets.
Spark FM is a whole.
It's a whole. Hold us out.
You want speed?
Pimp us out.
You want speed?
Tell everybody about us. Okay? We want speed. The app, so you say. Stephen, don't come here asking hard questions, okay? Right now, the app is only available for Apple people. Everybody that don't got an Apple need to switch over to what we got.
You know, that's
And then you
true.
can switch back over.
Ain't nothing worse than texting somebody and it's all green.
Green.
What is wrong with you?
But
However,
the droids, you can read receipt them
get,
now.
Yeah, you get read receipts from the droids now. So
I don't know if they know that, because I be looking like, it's funny. Guys that I talk to typically only have droids.
Me too.
Is that an older man thing? Oh, but you don't date older.
It's West Indian.
Oh, West Indian man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Them know nothing about no iPhone. They just know
Yeah,
about my
they love a
iPhone.
droid.
Yeah.
They love a droid. Schneider, leave us alone. I'd wear that t-shirt. He said Spark FM is a hoe. I'd wear that t-shirt.
Oh,
Let's
my
put
God.
it on. Schneider, you better get us more listeners out there in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Steven is Canadian.
Schneider was in my dream last night.
Naked?
No.
No.
Wow.
I don't have those kind of dreams. I'm a effing lady. Okay? Okay.
That's the theme of the day. That's what's going on.
I'm a effing
I
lady.
feel it. I see that already.
Look at me. My legs are crossed and I'm drinking tea.
Oh, wow.
Lady.
Steven said he's Canadian. I heard that Canada is about to join America as a state.
Oh, boy.
According to America's president, that's what is in the works right now.
Oh, we're going to adopt Canada because is that why Justin Trudeau resigned?
Welcome to Canada, America. Cat America.
I don't want to do it. Unless we're getting free health care like they do over there.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into the news. Boston community celebrates life of slain college student.
So such a
That is
sad
terrible. So we talked about this yesterday. The young man who was murdered a couple of days ago. He was a big part of the dance community here in Boston. There's a video clip right there. A tremendous display of love for Kyrie Ambrose, 19 years old, could be seen at the Lena Park Community Development Center in Dorchester Tuesday night, just days after he was stabbed to death inside his mom's Brockton home. Family, friends, and dancers from the Boston area joined together during this time of tragedy for a vigil. However, the event included moments of dance and celebration to mark Ambrose's vibrant life. Fitting tribute, since Ambrose fell in love with dance just barely after he could walk. Kyrie lived his life to his fullest. He was himself. He fulfilled every goal that he needed, explained Drake Anthony Curtis. Kyrie attending college to study dance in California before his death. He was always been a light from the second he was born to the moment he went away, Juliana Cumberbatch Wood said. Here is April Baker with the clip.
Yes, Mark, it is now quiet outside of Lena Park Community Center, but less than 2 hours ago, the second floor of this building was filled to the brim with people honoring the life of 19-year-old Kyrie Ambrose. A tremendous show of love for 19-year-old Kyrie Ambrose. Family, friends, and the dancing community released dozens of red and blue balloons into the air Tuesday night outside of Lena Park Community Center in Dorchester. red and blue being Kyrie's favorite colors.
It's a very difficult time for us, and everybody's broken.
Around 2 a.m. last Saturday, police were called to Kyrie's mom's home in Brockton. They found him suffering from 28 stab wounds. Kyrie died shortly after being taken to a nearby hospital. Investigators have traced Kyrie's death to suspect 18-year-old Jaden Fernandez. On Monday, he pleaded not guilty to a charge of first-degree murder in Brockton District Court.
When you know that somebody else is responsible for his life being taken, that's tragic, and it's been really hard to deal with that unexpected loss.
But his godmother, Juliana Cumberbatch Woods, doesn't want the tragedy and circumstances surrounding his death to overshadow his vibrant life.
He has always been a light. From the second he was born until the moment he went away.
Kyrie lived his life to the fullest. He was himself. He fulfilled every goal that he needed.
And that's just what he was doing before he died. Kyrie was studying dance at college in California, a passion of his since he was barely old enough to walk. During Tuesday's vigil, they included a special moment where attendees danced in his honor.
I pray that in his passing, that us as his family can collectively find a way to honor his legacy so that kids in the future know who he was.
Investigators would not speculate on the motive, but the Plymouth County DA's office says Fernandez and Ambrose were acquaintances. When we pushed further for more clarification, they had no comment. Live on scene in Dorchester, I'm April Baker for your local station, Boston 25 News.
That's just so sad and tragic. Like, even just knowing the way that he did actually die, there's still no information about the motive or what caused that.
Why? What is that about?
And they do have the suspect. They do have him in custody.
Did they know each other?
That's what they did.
Oh, they did know each other.
Okay. I wonder, you never know. I wonder what could happen. I don't know. I hate it. Boston Logan Airport plane door incident, passenger due in court. So I was reading about this yesterday. Right before takeoff, somebody decided they would like to open the plane door.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why he didn't get sucker punched in his face.
Or taped down to the seat. I love the tape
or
down
thrown out. A JetBlue passenger who allegedly opened the plane's emergency door as the aircraft was getting ready to take off Tuesday at Boston Logan's International Airport is expected to be in court Wednesday morning. The person is expected to be arraigned on charges Wednesday in East Boston District Court, but Massachusetts State Police said their identity will not be released until the charges are finalized. Let us know who he is. Is he at least on the no-fly zone?
I already seen video of him.
The incident was reported around 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, and state police confirmed one person was detained over reports of a disturbance on a taxiing aircraft. They later said in a statement that the passenger wanted to deplane and opened an aircraft door suddenly and without warning. Here is LaToya with the news.
Minaj, we're hearing from a man who was on board that plane.
Minaj.
That's exactly right. And the specific details about what happened will be revealed when that man is arraigned here in court, as he will get a chance to explain himself. But you mentioned it. We were able to speak to a person who was on the plane when this incident happened.
Two people directly behind me, they're arguing, boyfriend and girlfriend. I guess the boyfriend wanted to see the girlfriend's phone, and she wouldn't let him see him. And, they started fighting, elbowing each other. The boyfriend got up, ran down the center aisle, grabbed the emergency door, ripped the emergency door off.
Well, he needed to be slapped in his face with the
Police
open
say the
fist.
incident happened at 7:30 p.m. JetBlue Flight 161 to San Juan, Puerto Rico was preparing for departure on the tarmac when a man got up and tried to open the emergency door. He actually ripped it off. The man was detained immediately after the incident, but that incident led to an hours-long flight delay for the remaining.
Bath salts. Had to be.
He ripped the door off. What is the door made of? Cardboard? What the hell is that? Who is he, the Hulk? What is going on?
Don't they make you say before you get those seats, you go through?
No, it wasn't even his seat, bro. He ran to the emergency. He ran down the aisle to the emergency. Rushed past the people who were sitting there and opened the door. Because you and your girl is fighting, bro. This is how you want to crash. This is crash out culture, right? This is crash out culture.
Catherine Ford said, "Where's my belt?"
Exactly. This is what they're doing these days. There's a new term called, it's not a new term, but it's a term now, crash out, which is going trending and viral and stuff like this. And this is how people literally like melt down and lose their mind. And that was an exact example of what a crash out. You get in an elbow match with you and your girl on an airplane. You get so upset that you run down to the emergency exit while the plane is about to take off and rip the damn door off and try to get out to your death.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Everybody's crashing out a lot. A lot of the things that we've been hearing about lately is like textbook crash out. What is happening with everybody? It's 5G.
Yeah. A girl wrote the other day, y'all should did your research about the vaccines, because look at this random person in here talking about this all the random things that happen in the vaccine. But I think it's a vaccine. I believe her. It's a vaccine.
I stopped getting them. I only got 4 now.
I only got 4.
I think the vaccine is definitely in my head, because the stuff I be saying, I don't be saying a lot of the stuff, and
that's called,
going to my phone right there.
Honey, that's called weed.
No,
that's Los Drogas.
That's the government. That's the government shot.
That's the government. That's the government's weed.
I know. I think we need to go back and re-review the election from November, and we need to go ahead and let us have the mushrooms, because everybody needs to calm the F down.
Yeah, everybody needs to chill out.
Yeah.
Everybody relax.
Yeah.
We ain't even get to the hard part yet.
Yeah.
Donald Trump ain't even in yet.
That's what my mother keeps saying every time something crazy happens. And Donald Trump ain't even in yet. Donald Trump ain't even in yet. Oh, that's crazy.
Why does he have a whole term? Yeah, exactly. Chill. I'm not allowed to speak to any convicted felons. Please leave me out of this. What are you talking about? That's age.
That's
sorry,
the drugs.
Triz. Hate to tell you. Oh yeah, that is. And if it ain't the drugs, it's just age.
Yeah.
Like everything is just. My mom the other day was like, Eric's my dad. Eric has been so tired these days. He don't want to go outside because he's old. He's an old man. His bones is weary. He is tired. He's been wear and tear in his body his whole life. The man is old. He don't want to go outside.
Right.
He don't want to go.
Yeah.
I understand. I don't want to go. And I'm considerably younger than that.
I am truly ready to hibernate unless there's something good going on. But I'm really ready to just be in the house and just be in there, in my couch, in my couch.
With your TV.
Hibernation.
My TV. Yeah.
Nearly fatal double.
Season.
Yeah, it is. It's human blanket season.
Yeah.
Nearly fatal double stabbing at Mass Ave diner started when man kept insisting on dancing with one of the victim's wives.
Yes.
What you say? What you say? Say it again.
Sometimes I read these stories and I'm like, yo, we're effed. A man who wouldn't take no for an answer from a woman he wanted to dance with at the Liberty Diner on Mass Ave.
Not the lib.
Last August ended up pulling out a black handled knife and stabbing the woman's husband in his chest and slicing open the man's brother's face from ear to chin. Police told the boss they should have just let her dance then. The board held the hearing to determine.
Dance. Instead of me getting stabbed. Sure.
Free Tory! Yeah, he got to stay there forever. Every time I hear dance, bitch, dance, he should get another year. Alleged knife wielder Conrad Brunette, 62 of Milton, was arrested at the scene. The brother, who left in the ambulance with part of his cheek hanging off his face, managed to get him to the floor and keep him there, the knife still clenching in his left hand, until police arrived. Officers told the board the other brother suffered injuries severe enough to have the homicide unit called in just in case. Although after he was intubated and underwent several surgeries, doctors got him away from the death's door, police said. According to police and diner manager Robert Doucette, the two brothers were frequent regulars at the diner bar, often coming in early day. On the evening of August 17th, they came in around 9 p.m. accompanied by the wife of one of the two men, and sat at the end of the bar. At one point, they got up to dance. Brunette, who may have been making his first visit to the diner and who was sitting at the other end, wanted to dance with the woman and kept insisting on the dance, after her husband told him to cut it out.
Why? What is she, the muchacha?
That's what I'm saying.
Wasn't nobody else to dance with?
She's his wife, police and Doucette said. You have to dance with me, he allegedly insisted, even after the woman's husband told him, I told you to stop, she's my wife. After 15 minutes or so of repeating requests, the brothers and the wife decided to leave. Harsher words were exchanged, a brawl started, and Brunette, police says, pulled out a knife and stabbed one of the brothers in the upper chest. The other brother joined the fight, and Brunette managed to slice one of his face off before the man managed to get...
Say it again. Slice one of his what?
The other brother joined the fight, and the stabber managed to slice one side of his face before the man managed to get him to the ground and basically sat on him and held him down with his left hand, in which Brunette was holding the knife. Arriving officers arrested the man. His yellow shirt now dyed red from the two brothers' blood, and charged him with 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, armed assault to murder, affray.
Oh, that's crazy. That's how the fight started at Slade's that I got into.
Tell us about it.
We were there. My god sister was there with her husband. We were celebrating his birthday. This girl was trying to dance up on him, and my god sister was dancing with him on the other side, and I guess he turned around or whatever while they were dancing.
Yeah.
And then when they turned back, the girl kept on trying to dance with him. My god sister went like this and showed her ring like, I'm his wife. And that's the fight. That's when the fighting started.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it started.
So people are crazy like that they feel entitled to dancing
to your husband.
If I say that you cannot dance with him, what are you fighting me to dance with him about?
With my husband.
He's not even that good. You know,
say the words.
You know,
like this, who you want to fight about?
Yeah, this what you're doing.
Yeah, so that's what happened. That's how the fight started.
That's crazy because that could have ended in somebody getting stabbed in their chest.
Well, I mean, somebody's arm got broken and somebody got knucked because she bucked. But yeah,
somebody got knucked after they bucked. So the board decides Thursday whether any punishment is warranted, and if so, whether that would come in the form of warning or temporary suspension to the diners. That don't got nothing to do with the damn diner. That was a very bad person that came in there and tried to ruin everybody's life,
and
literally.
And they said that the two brothers were frequent. Were known in there, so yeah. That has nothing to do with the diner. Come on now.
A little girl is scared for her life. A girl violently attacked in Chelsea high school classroom. A teenager is recovering after she was attacked inside a high school classroom in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Disturbing videos taken inside Chelsea High School Tuesday morning shows the incident taking place. I was mostly scared for my safety, said the victim. In the videos, a girl can be seen throwing a chair at another girl and then attacking her with her hands and feet. She threw a chair, said the victim, then grabbed my hair. She ended up stomping on me, punching my head. Sounds like you need to learn how to fight, baby girl. The 16-year-old sophomore says it happened during Portuguese class. I didn't know they had that. Yeah. The attacker, who was also a student, walked into the classroom with 2 friends. The teacher told them to leave and went to call security. That's when the assault took place. This shouldn't be happening in school, said the victim's mother, who got a frantic FaceTime call from her daughter. Veloza took her daughter to urgent care where she was diagnosed with a concussion. Damn. She also had a bloody lip and an x-ray was taken of her bruised hand. If her hand is messed up, her basketball season this year is done for. She would not be able to play. In a statement, the district said it's actively investigating an incident that occurred at Chelsea High School. We take this incident seriously, and the safety of our schools, communities is our top priority. I'm tired of these little AI statements that these people be making. I want to see if the video is shown. Let's go to the clip right here.
You talking? Oh.
It's dramatic effect.
She was attacked inside a classroom here at Chelsea High School. It happened this morning right here inside the school building during second period. Disturbing videos taken inside a classroom at Chelsea High School.
Is that her stopping her?
I was mostly scared for my safety.
A girl can be seen throwing a chair at another girl, then attacking her with her hands and feet.
She threw a chair and then she grabbed my hair and she ended up stomping on me, punching my head.
The 16-year-old sophomore says it happened during Portuguese class. The attacker, who's also a student, walked into the classroom with 2 friends. The teacher told them to leave and went to call security. That's when the assault took place.
This shouldn't be happening in schools.
The victim's mother says she got a frantic FaceTime from her daughter.
She was leaking blood from her face.
Pause.
And all I could hear her say was, come to the school, come to the school.
Let's pause real quick. So the teacher saw the 3 children come to the classroom, told them to leave, and then left.
She left the classroom.
Left the classroom to go get help?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Keep going. I just wanted to
Emily
put that
Veloza
part
took her
in.
daughter to urgent care where she was diagnosed with a concussion. An x-ray was taken of her bruised hand.
Like if her hand is messed up, her basketball season this year is done for. She will not be able to play.
In a statement, the district said it is actively investigating an incident that occurred at Chelsea High School. We take this incident seriously, and the safety of our school communities is our top priority.
I'm not going.
I just don't understand. This is what we're doing, and
that's crazy.
You know, I'm not going to even make no speculations, because we do know that these little kids be really mouthy to each other, like really, really mouthy on site, crash out, burn out, whatever they're using these days, these social media, these smartphones that they have, texting each other and cussing each other out and telling them to run up and all kind of stuff like that. You all got to stop inviting people to the fist fight.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's what happened, because I don't know, but it don't seem like randomly these 3 girls popped into the classroom to whoop this one girl's behind because they just chose her randomly. I'm pretty sure there was words exchanged, but you shouldn't. And it was one-on-one.
I was laughing because yesterday we were watching the Bernie Mac show, and Jordan Jordan was being bullied, and Bernie Mac was like, "You better tell him you're crazy." So he was running up to people like, "I'm crazy, don't mess with me."
Yo, you remember the scene from House Party, Bernie Mac?
No.
When he was talking to Kid?
What did he say?
People don't like it, F them up against the wall.
But I mean, so, Evan said that this girl needs some karate classes or something like that, but I don't know. Noah yesterday came to me and was like, "Mom, some of the boys in my class, sometimes they pick on me, and one of them keeps hitting me hard." And I was like, "Which one?" And he told me which one, and that little boy is my size. I kid you not. So I was like, you tell him, if he put his hands on you one more time, your mother's going to come down there and fight him, because your mommy and him are the same size. And I told you, tell him that. You tell him that. You tell him that I said that. Because
and that's something else. Like when you at home, if he hit you, you defend yourself. You go run and tell the teacher, scream and shout and all kind of stuff.
What you letting anybody hit you for when you fighting CK, who is bigger than me?
He bullies the shit out of CK. And so you know,
you gotta get it back.
You gotta be ready to go. Right. You gotta be ready to go. Don't let nobody
hit him back.
And next time the car is on, I work right up the street. I can come to the school anytime.
There is a meme, right? Did
you
see the meme when like, my niece tells me that the people are gonna fight her at the bus stop, and she's sitting there wearing her backpack.
She's dressed up like a little kid. That's what I will dress. I put on a school uniform and I'll go sit in the classroom. Keep doing it. Keep touching my nephew. See what happened to you. We gonna fight right in this classroom. Call the police.
Roll around.
Call the police, little boy.
Yep. I told him today. So this morning he came and reminded me, and I said, "Well, you tell your teacher, and if nothing happens, then mommy will come and meet you after school."
And tell the boy dash with that.
Yeah.
Standoff suspect armed with shotgun rifle held 3 people hostage inside a Boston home. A man facing charges in connection with a hours-long standoff in Boston was armed with a shotgun and rifle while he had 3 people hostage in a bathroom before surrendering to police. Andres Rivera, 42, of Boston, was arraigned Tuesday in West Roxbury District Court on charges of armed home invasion, discharging a firearm within 500 feet of a dwelling, 11 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, 3 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon on a person over 60, malicious destruction of property over $1,200, 2 counts of malicious damage to a motor vehicle, 3 counts of armed kidnapping and resisting arrest, according to the Boston Police Department. They threw the book at him.
The Encyclopedia Britannica.
They said, "What else? What else we got here that we can just?" We on 19 Hopewell Road in the city's Hyde Park section just after 3:30 a.m. on Monday. Observed heavy damage to the front door and ballistic evidence nearby. Police said they then spotted the muzzle of a firearm protruding around the corner of the second floor on the home. Wow. One officer moved towards the armed suspect in an attempt to gain control of the weapon, but the suspect retreated further into the residence. Officers quickly found cover and issued verbal commands for the suspect to drop the firearm. Rivera was seen holding holding a shotgun with another rifle secured across his chest. According to police, officers determined that he had been allegedly holding 3 people hostages inside the bathroom. How did they get him out? I'm not going to go... as officers continued to issue verbal commands to de-escalate the situation, they observed the suspect pointing the firearm in their direction. The suspect fired a round from the shotgun, damaging property but not striking the officers. Officers assigned to the department's SWAT and negotiating teams were called to the scene and established communication with Rivera. He agreed to release the 3 hostages, and he ultimately surrendered peacefully after hours of negotiation, according to police. I didn't know that these things really actually happened. That sounds like that sounds like a SWAT episode.
An episode of SWAT. That's exactly what it sounds like.
And this is why I should join the SWAT team.
Oh, look at these 2 in the comments, ready to go to the school.
I want to join the SWAT team.
Me?
Because
I want to join the SWAT team just to be there to see what happens, but I don't want to have to do any of this.
No, I want to be
SWAT
somebody's
stuff.
6. You know,
I don't know.
I want to have somebody's back.
I don't want to be the 22 David or nothing like that.
22 David.
Maybe I can be the cameraman for the SWAT or something like that. I just want to see what's happening.
But yeah, this is cool. Shout out to the Boston SWAT team and the Boston police for, getting this situation under control. Shout outs to you guys.
How long was the standoff? Did
they said a couple of hours.
Wow. That first police officer that they said moved towards the house, who told him to go in like that? Who was his cover?
Hey, I'm coming right now.
Yeah.
Who had his 6?
I know.
Man pleads guilty to killing ex-girlfriend in Boston and is sentenced to life in prison. A man who admitted fatally stabbing his former girlfriend with whom he shared 2 daughters and fleeing Massachusetts, prosecutor said. Christopher Howard, 42, was arrested in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, hey, McFar. A week after the May 20, 2022 murder of Terkeisha Boykins on Tuesday, weeks before his trial was scheduled to begin, he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder.
Good.
Howard was sentenced to life in prison.
Good.
He may be eligible for parole in 20 years. 4 of Boykin's 6 daughters testified about her kind and generous spirit in court. Protesters said, sharing parts of their victims' impact statement. It's unfair that my sister and I had to lose our loving, kind, caring, and heartwarming mother at a young age. I pray that my mom gets justice and that she continues to watch over us every day. I miss my mom more than words can explain, her 16-year-old daughter said. That is terrible.
That's that was on that street right over there by Burger King in Mattapan Square.
Oh, I think I remember that.
There was videos of him walking away from the house. And I think all her children were in the house when he went in there and stabbed her.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's good that he pleaded guilty. I mean, I guess. But it's good. Yeah.
Blue Ridge Beef recalls more than 1,300 pounds of cat food. So if you have a cat and the baby eats Blue Ridge Beef, do dash away that. It is bad for your child. And Ayanna Pressley to boycott Trump's inauguration. I don't understand why more people are not doing that. Like, it's very crazy to me how all of these executives and corporate people and Fortune 500 are donating to. When you donate to inauguration, what the hell are you donating to?
I know. What are you buying the snacks?
Yeah, are you paying for the event space? Like, what is it that? But what was it? What is it? What I'm donating? Like they said, Apple, Tim Cook, whatever his name is, he donated like 10 million or something like that towards the inauguration. To do what? Like, what is it they're doing? There's a little black college, Tuskegee. It's not Tuskegee, Tewksbury. I don't know. There's a historically black college that has been asked to march. The marching band has been asked to march, and they went under fire the other day because they said that they were invited to the White House for the inauguration, and they need help raising $350,000 to get their marching band down there. And it was a big controversy because people were trying to figure out, like, if they got all the money, why are they asking you Why are they asking you to raise money?
Right.
You know, like what you got to raise the money for?
The only thing I'm gonna raise is my middle finger, because get the
Hello.
F out of here with that.
Say that. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I plan to spend the weekend of Martin Luther King Jr. Day in my district on community events that feed our collective soul.
You know
Presley
where she
said.
gonna be at the Sneaker Bowl.
She sure will. Massachusetts Rep. Ayanna Presley will not attend President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration later this month, her office said Tuesday. Presley, who represents much of Boston and some suburbs, said in a statement that she has other plans on January 20th, which is also Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day, and it is a setup, and I think it's disrespectful. Exactly. I plan to spend the weekend of Martin Luther King Jr. Day in my district, community events that feed our collective soul and recommit us to building a future rooted in love and not division, hate, and bigotry. I added the rest.
Say that.
The federal holiday celebrated on the third Monday of January sometimes fall on Inauguration Day, which is constitutionally set for January 20th. If January 20th is a Sunday, the president is sworn in on a Monday. So let's just pretend that it's a Sunday.
Right.
I think it's so crazy that he would be inaugurated on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The congresswoman, who is a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, was recently sworn in for her fourth term. Shout outs to her and congratulations. Over the summer, Presley boycotted Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech to Congress, joining much of the state's congressional delegation. Presley's office said that she will host an event at a significant location for both King and the Black community in Boston over the long weekend on the eve of a second Trump presidency. As we prepare to mitigate the most harmful and hateful policy decision that will come from the Trump White House, I will be in Massachusetts 7th to help organize and mobilize our collective power that honors Dr. King's vision of justice, equity for everyone who calls Massachusetts and America home, Presley's statement continued. I love it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why more people are not making that statement that they are not going to attend it. What I see instead is everybody still, maybe not in full support, but you're there. You're coming through. There's going to be, I'm going to watch it because it's going to be interesting.
That's just traumatizing for me.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a bunch of American flags, a bunch of red T-shirts.
I wonder which rapper he's going to have performing at it.
It's going to be Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is going to come out and he's going to throw a football out to people and he's going to do a dance.
You know what it's not going to be? Dance party with Beyonce.
Then Elon Musk is going to come and get pinned for his role as co-president of the United States, even though he ain't no American citizen or naturalized, nothing like that.
Honorary president of the United States.
He'll come out and he'll jump on some random couch that they put out there because he's going to channel his inner Keanu Reeves. I just feel like it's going to be...
Cruise.
Yes, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And Tom Brady will probably be there too.
Tom Brady's not going to be there. He's crying. Anyways, people, we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Chief Shagun Iduwu of the city of Boston, who will get us ready and amped up for a fabulous year here in Boston, Massachusetts. Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
You are now listening to Spark FM.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. tax.
Spark FM.
Perhaps I was addicted to the dark side. Somewhere inside my childhood when this my heart died. And even though we both came,
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
I mean, I stop love how they got them flex. The hand close and make a next gal flex. Me no stop love how they...
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
Oh my darling, oh my darling.
Spark FM.
You gotta commend you, ain't nothing in the way. Your son is out of your temple. With everything that's for you, to be going against you. You heard it from me. All I need is 16 bars, 16 bars, 16 bars of your time. 16 bars, 16 bars, 16 bars of your time.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
I got the sauce, yeah, I'm saucy. You peep the walk, yeah, I'm flossing on them. You can't get enough, you know you want this. Cause I got the sauce, catch my drip, drip, drip. I got the sauce, yeah, I'm saucy. You peep the walk, yeah, I'm flossing on them. You can't get enough, you know you want this. Cause I got the sauce, catch my drip, drip, drip. Drip beyond 1,000, your style beyond 100. Cause I've been stacking billions worth of knowledge in my pocket. A designer and an artist working harder than your hardest. I'm a vibe no matter the time when I'm in your space. Catch my fly. Look at the flick of the wrist. Been dripping all over this place. Been clicking all over your space. I laid it all on me with grace. Super ahead of my time. You falling in love with the vibe. Believe it, you know I'm your type. And I see it all in your eyes. Cause I got the sauce, the jugo. All the flavor for it, te lo juro. El sazón to your life, eso es puro. Tú sabes que yo soy de lo tuyo. Cause I got the sauce, the jugo. All the flavor for it, te lo juro. El sazón to your life, eso es puro. Tú sabes que yo soy de lo tuyo. Soy de lo tuyo, soy de lo tuyo. Ya tú sabes, soy de lo tuyo. Siento el orgullo dentro de mí. Comenzando de ahí, salió este hit, salió este beat. Pegándose así, rompiéndote el mix. Tan fácil así, bailándolo así. Tú sabes que sí, tú sabes que sí. Tú sabes que I got the sauce, yeah, I'm sauce. Tú sabes que you peep the walk, yeah, I'm floss. Tú sabes que can't get enough, you know you want. Tú sabes que I got the sauce, sauce, sauce. Tú sabes que I got the sauce, yeah, I'm sauce. Tú sabes que you peep the walk, yeah, I'm floss. Tú sabes que can't get enough, you know you want. Tú sabes que I got the sauce, sauce, sauce. All this, I'm a drip, all the drip, got you
are now listening to Spark FM.
Yes, good morning, and welcome back. We had a little intermission right there, but I told you we were coming back. Saucy and Friends, Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are in the building, and like we promised, we have our very special and favoritist city check-in that we get all of the we get all of the tea, and everything happens right after that. We have Shagun in here, the Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion. Say what? What y'all gotta say? Y'all can't say nothing to me. I'm outside.
Practiced like it 20 times.
And I still read it. And I was stalling, and I was like, "Ooh, I got it!" We're here. Welcome, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Thank you for coming back and hanging out with us. Welcome to the last time you were here, we were still trying to get things together.
More beautiful.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're still working here, but we are in a workable place. So how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Fantastic. How's the year starting out?
Well, for us, it's just a little bit more of the same. But I'm glad that everyone else is enjoying the new year.
It's a hard. I feel we've been talking about this for the last couple of days. I feel like the new year is really hard because you expect for this button to be pressed and everything to reset when you're really just kind of took a couple of days off and you're just doing exactly what you said. I'll work on this next year. I've checked out for 2024. I'll checked out. I'm gonna do this in 2025, and then 2025 comes and you're like, oh, it's still there, huh?
Yeah.
Nobody handled that. But yes, so it is 2025. We got a new president-elect coming into office.
Indeed, we do.
A lot of people are nervous, but a lot of business owners are like, maybe there's a silver lining here.
Well, if they're people of color, I'm not quite sure what that silver lining would be, but okay.
There's silver lining. She couldn't.
Okay.
Are black people in Massachusetts safe?
That is a legitimate question to ask ourselves.
Right.
I mean,
so Massachusetts is one of those states that are more liberal than others, depending on how purple you want it to look.
We have progressive values.
Yes,
about all people.
Exactly. We're very conservative still. We're very prideful people. What we see happening around the world, not around the world, but around the country. Are we technically in a good space here in Massachusetts for,
Well, here's listen.
Inclusion.
I will share my personal opinion.
Yes.
So none of this is said on behalf of the Wu administration, et cetera, and all the other.
We telling, we recording
it. But listen. I know that some people are trying to cope with it by saying, "Well, we've already done 4 years of this, and so we kind of know what to expect." But for me, the White House, both houses of Congress, the Supreme Court, the federal bench. Yeah. Controlled by not even just one party, but one ideology, which is fueled by white supremacy. And so I'm not quite sure, I cannot treat the upcoming 4 to however long, because according to the Constitution, currently it's 4 years. But again, with all the things that get put out in the public space, you never know what they're actually going to push for versus just kind of muddying the waters.
Right.
So anyway, I'll just say that, there is cause for concern. However, that concern and even fear and angst that a lot of people have should not lead us to not doing anything.
Yeah.
If anything, it should just embolden us to keep fighting, because it's the only way we survived the first 4 years, and it's the only way we're going to navigate this.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the first 4 years was kind of like, a little, I'm going to step in the water, put my toes in, see what happens. And I think that in the last 4 years, they've kind of tested their waters enough and they're ready to plunge in.
Yeah.
So we'll
I'm
see.
worried about what they're going to introduce on day one, on the 20th.
Dig.
Yeah, and it's it's the day that the whole country is going to be celebrating Dr. King and and
what a stark contrast.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
And we'll see what they introduce, because the same people who, especially for one party, but across the political spectrum, everyone's going to be attending MLK. Well, they're either going to be at inauguration or at MLK Day events. But either way, their Twitter accounts, their Facebook accounts, social media is going to be putting out all these Dr. King was a man of love, and then we'll see what policies they wind up putting out that same day. So to your point, stark contrast.
Yeah.
But, I think, because you asked the question about like, are we good here in Massachusetts? I think the thing that we are good about is that we have really great people in positions that care about people and who are going to fight against, anything that is going to negatively impact us, which I can't say is true for others across the country. So we have an embarrassment of riches in the leadership we have here, from local government all the way up through our state government. So
we've seen our government, pretty much say that they are going to stand strong against, a lot of the things. Governor Healy, Mayor Wu, Ayanna Presley. Yep. A lot of people are really kind of here in Massachusetts, and I'm glad that you said that. How we're positioned here could be, safe for us for right now. And I asked the question, like, how would this look like? Because everybody's excited about the business opportunities that might come from Donald Trump. He's never told us what he's planning to do with small businesses at all.
He doesn't have a plan.
He doesn't. It's a concept of
so here's what I say too. So, because it's important for people to read and not just take in what Donald Trump says.
Yeah.
I actually am always confused when, even during the campaign, where people are like, well, Donald Trump said X. And it's like, when has anything that Trump has had to say,
please,
like, when have you ever been able
true?
to invest in that?
Right?
It's never been true. You got to look at what the people around him are saying, what they're writing, what they're pushing for. So the day after the election, I and many others in the cabinet printed out Project 2025. Because if you remember, and this is again back to this whole how can you trust anything he says, if you remember during the campaign, he was like, I never heard of this thing, never met these people. And then after the election, he was like, oh yeah, we're doing all that.
This is my best friend.
We're absolutely going to implement
Of course. I'm just going to change the name of this,
and,
put my
and
name
when it
on
comes to small business, if there's the section in there about the Department of Commerce, this is, I don't know, pages 700 through whatever, is one of the things that they recommend is eliminating funding through the SBA.
Oh,
and so
that's not good
if
at
you're
all.
A small business, you should kind of wonder, what that's going to mean for your business. And it's just always important to remember that the people that Donald Trump and many of his allies are pushing for are, yes, business. But you got to think about, it's big
what
business.
Kind of business?
It's large companies, large corporations who will benefit the most, right? Small businesses always wind up getting the brunt of it. So important for folks to think about that.
This actually leads me into recently we were reading the news about taxes and stuff like that. And there was some back and forth about taxes that are coming down into Boston. And property taxes and whatever for small business owners. I'm glad that a lot of small business owners are still kind of not brick and mortar, so they're still kind of online and whatever. But there was a tax situation that happened where it was businesses. Can you explain it to me? Because I'm not too sure. We read it last week.
Do my best to not get in trouble because this is a particular issue that quite honestly just pisses me off. That in terms of like politics got in the way of, the mayor, the council, or most of the people on the council, my colleagues trying to be proactive about preventing property taxes from increasing on residents. So it's a relevant topic because everyone now is opening their quarterly bill and seeing something is different this quarter than it was last quarter. And people's taxes some people might have seen a decrease, but that's some people.
That's why you guys should get solar.
But many others are reaching out either online or to us directly and saying, hey, my bill has gone up quite considerably. And I have to start off by saying it is not the mayor's doing. The mayor actually spent quite literally all of last year trying to get the state legislature, and in particular the state Senate, to pass a measure that would have allowed us to shift the burden of increased taxes to commercial properties. So think of like the downtown office towers, to prevent those taxes from being burdened by residents. And, it was a long year. And there was towards the end, there was a compromise with the business community who, on the other side of it were saying, well, we can't afford to pay more taxes because our office towers are empty.
Boy, and it is expensive to have commercial property.
Yes, it is. And so they were pushing back and saying, well, we don't want to pay more taxes. Make the residents pay the taxes because our properties are what's fueling the economy in terms of the taxes that they're paying because they already pay more in taxes. So there was a compromise reached that would have ensured that, because the original proposal was we want a 5-year request to potentially raise taxes, right?
Yeah.
The mayor's request was not, we're going to automatically raise taxes.
Yeah,
it was, we want permission over the next 5 years to have that option in case things go bad. So I'll back up and I really want to be as quick as possible because I could spend forever on this topic. But just to say that every government will always collect 100% of its taxes. Full
Period.
Stop.
Somebody got to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Boston is very different from other cities where roughly 60-70% of all the taxes that feed our budget come from property taxes. So, the city has been spending many, many years to develop other revenue options so that we're not fully reliant on property tax, but that's where we are right now. And every year taxes go up, also full stop. There was a state law passed decades ago called Prop 2.5 that allows the city, all cities and towns across the state, to increase their taxes by 2.5% every year. And every year the city increases that. So
so we don't get the increase anymore.
So
increase.
So that is continuing.
Yeah.
Right. And so every time you look at your bill, it is more, but it's not like thousands of dollars more, $100 more of what people are experiencing right now.
So how come the compromise didn't work? How come we couldn't split it between residents and commercial?
So what was happening was, that of that 70%, a huge percentage of that came from commercial properties. So now saying this, residents are like, it doesn't matter, but what I'm saying here, the line here is that Boston residents, compared to other major cities across the country, actually pay some of the least amount of residential taxes.
Really? I thought we was called Massachusetts.
However, right? So that's right. It's like, but my bill is still high. I don't care if someone might be paying a couple $100 more, but my bill is still high. So, but just to say, that's what it is. And the reason it's been that low is we collect a lot more from commercial properties. So speeding things up, I'll just say that because of COVID, a lot of people don't go to work in the office, right? And our downtown, we never, before the pandemic, the city had never really, and the private sector never really invested to diversifying the types of properties that were downtown. Most of them are office towers.
Yeah.
That's how it was big business, right? And it was a safe investment before COVID.
That was the culture.
Yeah. And, but now, after COVID, where people don't go into the office and a lot of businesses are downsizing or just not renting or leasing space at all, you have these empty buildings that are not generating as much revenue as they should be to cover the mortgages. So it's so there's this vicious circle or cycle that's happening. So all that said, our CFO and other economic advisors within the administration, a year ago, we're looking at the outlook for 2024, 25, 26 and saying, okay, we are still feeling the impacts of COVID.
Yeah.
And so we need to prepare for that as responsible adults who are in government need to do.
Yeah.
And so what our CFO, what our assessor, what the mayor and others put together was a proposal that would have said, okay, yes, it hurts right now in commercial properties. However, because we collect 100%, if let's say commercial properties are paying, 70% of that 100, and they go down to 60, that 10% is going over to residents. It doesn't disappear, right? We don't collect 10% less, right? It's going to someone else. And so what the mayor wanted to prevent was residents having to shoulder the burden of commercial properties not being able to, to cover everything. So the compromise was, because the business community,
fought
people
back.
can have their opinions, right? But they advocated, right? And they said, well, we don't want that to be what it is. So the compromise was, instead of 5 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And then in terms of how much we could raise it, so right now I think we collect at 175. There's going to be numbers, whatever. 175% is what we got. The mayor asked for 200, and the compromise was like 181. So I mean, again, to the people that do the numbers, all that stuff makes sense. To everyday people, it's like, either way, am I paying more? Am I not paying more? The goal was to ensure that if you were going to pay more, that it was going to be very, 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 very minimal, and that the majority would be covered by commercial properties. Also important to say that if your building lost value, you were paying less in taxes. You were not paying more taxes.
Okay.
It's only buildings like Wood Street and One Congress downtown and some of these new properties that we're going to pay.
Because that's what I was thinking too, like about commercial, and we were just talking about, smaller businesses or people getting the brunt of it. Because that's what I was thinking too when I first started reading about it. I'm like, And my little property taxes got to go up too. Like,
well,
you know.
And one of the
because
great
they
things,
can afford it.
Yeah,
we
well,
can't.
Right.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that came out of the compromise that I thought was great, aside from, you know, the what I showed earlier, was the mayor committed to $15 million over per the 3 years of that period available to support small businesses that were impacted. Because the thing is that, you know, as you know, you're in a commercial property.
Where the granddad?
And if right, and if taxes go up on this building, the building owner's not paying for it.
He sure ain't.
The building owner is going to pass
I get
it on
that
to
bill right
small
here.
business.
So when I heard that, that's what I was thinking. I was like, let me tell you something.
Right. So
we got to
had
talk.
protections.
Yeah.
So not only grants, but we also were going to raise the exemption, the small business exemptions, from $15,000 to $30,000, which again would have helped more than 1,000 businesses here in the city. So all that said, the mayor and the business community came together and made a better policy.
I like that.
Sounds
However.
like y'all,
Oh, it's
sounds
a however.
Sounds like y'all took a little from Kamala too. borrowed a little bit.
This is what we got to do for the business.
Right. But what happened was, so the city does not get to make this decision by itself.
Yeah.
So we in Massachusetts, we are run by something called the home rule, which means that municipalities really just don't get to make their own decision. They have to go to the state house to ask permission to do certain things.
Yeah.
So the city cannot raise or do whatever with taxes. It has to ask permission. So we went to the state legislature after going through the city council. 12 of the 13 city councilors supported it. That means that one city councilor did. Now let people do their own research to find out.
I know who it is, probably.
You know, and I'm going to leave that alone. I already had my little public
shout out to him.
But then someone who happens to represent the same district at the state level decided to block it as well. So the short history, and I keep saying short, but again, this is the issue that like really pisses me off, that like people are hurting now as a result of people playing politics with this, where the mayor tried to not make this about politics, but to save people. So the Senate president, who does not represent Boston, she is somewhere else in the state, so none of this impacts her, either her voters or, you know, her winning election or anything. She decided to stand up for the business community and say, well, the mayor needs to reach a compromise. So the mayor did that.
I thought we got that.
But then was saying, you know, oh, well, my members aren't saying this is an issue. Okay, well, that is kind of crazy, because there are several senators representing Boston that supported it and said we got to do something, like Liz Miranda, like Lydia Edwards. But there was one other state senator who, again, you all can go do your research. I mean, he has a whole op-ed in the Globe, you know, trying to, you know, say why this was important. But I disagree very much with the stance. Who, even despite the compromise that the Senate president said was necessary to move it forward, said, I still have reservations that, by the way, never brought these up, and it tanked the bill. So as a result of folks standing up for business interests who wound up working with the mayor, so it's kind of it doesn't make any sense.
I guess,
but now
like,
residents are paying more because of these individuals.
A question that I have is probably just a little bit more common. Like, how does it work that if you are not from a particular place that is dealing with an issue, why is there so much say around that? Because I know it was the same thing with, you know,
liquor
building
licenses.
the bridge. Oh,
Yeah.
the
We had
liquor
to ask the
license.
state.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. Because the people in the other parts of the state or of the state that don't have anything to do with living in Boston, restaurants, business, or anything in Boston, because they're from like Hull or something like that. Why is it that they get to decide whether or not, you know, like we in Boston can get what we need?
We live under home rule, which means that we got to ask the state. Now, you know, changes can be made. People can advocate that something like that changes, but until that changes, we got to follow that rule.
We're going to talk about that later, about how we can advocate for things to change, because that sounds stupid to me. I mean, you got to be correct.
Yeah.
That just sounds stupid to me,
Well,
that somebody else gets to decide what happens in Boston when you don't live here.
And, you know, it's really great that we have, and that was the Senate. Legislature were fantastic partners.
Okay.
And part of it is because we have great folks in leadership who are from Boston, who represent Boston, understand that this is going to hurt residents if we don't do something about this. And they were extremely supportive throughout. They supported it from day one. And so they were great. But it's really the state Senate, which is a little, for me personally, disheartening because the Senate has always been, it's 40 senators and 160 representatives. The Senate has always been seen as the more liberal, more progressive, because usually you'll see bills coming out of there that are way super uber progressive, and the House has been seen as more moderate of let's take
our time.
Let's move things slowly or methodically. So it was weird to see the change of for this particular issue of the only thing that matters is business interest as opposed to thinking about for
the
me
overall. Yeah,
this
everybody.
hurts my job because the city is already unaffordable, right? Now the mayor
Oh,
is
say
already doing
that.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's already we're ranked 4th most unaffordable place in the country, and that hurts my business because my job, because I'm supposed to be attracting companies to the city, but companies are following where their employees are going. If employees don't want to come to Boston because it's too expensive,
We read about that yesterday, that we're getting a 50% move out rate or something like that. It's great.
People not wanting to move here
yeah,
at all.
50, yeah, not
Sorry,
wanting
that.
something about. We read that yesterday. We were like, damn, anybody want to come here? It's such a nice place.
but so decisions like that harm the future of Boston's prospects.
Yeah.
And so it's very short-sighted and very frustrating. And but the mayor is not going to accept it, and so I'm sure there will be efforts to address it and set things right. But very unfortunate that we have to. It's we try to avoid people hurting to then do policy.
Yeah.
We wanted to do the policy to avoid people hurting.
Yeah.
And the Senate unfortunately did not.
Prevention is better than intervention.
Exactly.
Hello.
Absolutely.
But speaking, the mayor has come under a couple of controversial topics. One of the biggest ones too, and just to kind of move on because we can't keep Shagun here all day. But just to kind of move in, White Stadium. White Stadium has been another big topic of discussion here in Boston. You have a large group of people that are like, yeah, let's do it. It's going to do so much. And then we have another large group of people that are like, we need to put a stop to this. This needs to end right now. It's a beautiful, situation that we're looking at. I think one of the most controversial things was at first it was only supposed to cost $45 million and we shot up to 91 or something like that. So how are we navigating that space, and what are you guys hearing, and what kind of things are you guys doing to kind of help out in that situation with soothing people?
Yeah, well, I mean, I will start off by saying Black people deserve nice things too.
We sure do. Say
Full
it
stop.
again. I always say gentrify yourself before you let somebody else gentrify it. Okay, fix it up nice. They can't fix what's not broken. But go ahead.
So Black people deserve nice things too. 4 other administrations have tried to do something with White Stadium and failed. And so the fact that even to this question about the increase of the funding,
Yeah.
I think what's important to remember is that the numbers that were first submitted were based this is how much it would cost to just bring it to a state of good repair. And then we brought the proposal to the community. There were almost 100 community meetings engaging people about what should we do, et cetera. So the reason that number jumped up is because we did what we said we were going to do, which is we heard all the feedback, and then we said, okay, how do we make those things work? And the numbers went up. Now, they're probably going to, and they might go up a little more because, again, we want to figure out how we get all the good ideas and make it possible here. Because what is paramount to the mayor and Mary Skipper is BPS has a state-of-the-art facility for our kids. And it's a generational investment.
1 second, little pin in that.
Yeah.
One of the things that we also read here, because we read the news, is that places like these large facilities that are built for BPS students are being used more by other students and not so much BPS students. I'm not sure the validity of that, but
I'll tell you. So the only example I can think of where I've heard that mentioned
Reggie
is
Lewis,
the Reggie,
yeah.
right? Which is, and so I should also say no one's concerns are unfounded. I mean, people are bringing legitimate concerns to the table, and therefore are allowing for better programming, better policy making to happen. And so again, the original proposal for what was going to happen is far different from what
originally
is
set
in
up
the lease to secure. Other concerns that came up were, okay, well, if we do this, if the team, what happens if the team can't actually make the stuff happen? Is that full 200, 300 million on the city? And it's all these things were important. Yeah. So the lease that was signed, I'm in the camp of I'm happy it's happening.
Okay.
Because, and I get what people who used to play in the stadium, and how they feel about it, but I'm like, listen, the stadium has been the same way for 40 years. So
literally has been the same.
I'm like, who used to play this?
Right. Well, a lot of, high school teams used to play. A lot of folks who grew up.
When I was in Pop Warner back in my day, we used to have football games there, but that was 40 years ago. Yep.
And we need to make, and we can't say that we are. I mean, public-private partnerships are important.
Yeah.
And again, from my vantage point, yes, the city can make investments, but this is going to be a state-of-the-art facility that is primarily used by BPS. And when I have kids and grandkids, I want them to be in a facility that professionals are using.
That looks good.
Exactly. Yeah. That is maintained because the city owned it, and for 50, 70 years, it fell apart. So I would rather that we are sharing ownership of who needs to maintain it, all that kind of stuff. So, but I encourage people to read the lease to see all the good stuff that comes out of this, 700 programmable hours, the team, if they ever want to go over the amount of, because right now it's they have their 20 games.
Yeah.
And they have their practices. But if they want to go over that, they got to ask permission. They can't just take over the facility. But it's primarily going to be used by BPS and by community. There's a community fund, $500,000 a year the first year, but then it goes up by 3% every year thereafter.
Oh. What does the community fund do?
Whatever the community group believes should happen.
Just to keep on digging into that traffic over there.
Yes,
the traffic over there is probably the most major concern. Because we don't necessarily know where our tax dollars and monies go anyways. But the traffic is that.
Watch the budget hearings. Read boston.gov/budget. I mean, that's
plug it in there because people need to start reading.
I think a lot of people probably don't know that they have access to things like that.
Yeah, they feel like, oh, they make these and we don't know, but these are government and public things that you can go whatever. But what are we gonna do for the traffic?
I mean, all of that. I will let my colleague Chief Franklin Hodge share more about the transportation plan over there.
Oh, good, yeah.
But remember, this is also happening at the same time we're talking about Blue Hill Ave.
Yes.
And so,
these
are not happening in their own vacuums, right?
Well,
these are all one conversation. And traffic actually was, besides the BPS access, traffic was the other major conversation.
Yeah.
And we did not sign this lease without having some inkling of how we're going to move forward. And again, I encourage folks to go get that information. But just to say, we did not want perfect to be enemy of the good. There will never be a plan that everyone is like,
everybody's gonna like,
but now that there's going to be shovels in the ground, I get the great job of being able to make sure that when it comes to who's building it, it's going to be people that look like the folks in this room. When it comes to who's designing it, when it comes to who's working on it, and then when it comes to the operation of the stadium.
What I hear there is jobs.
So
I hear lots of jobs. I hear a good amount of, I hear good things about jobs.
I think it's 500 construction jobs and 300 permanent jobs are what are expected.
Because I'm about to join the union anyway, so I need to be over there. So 500 construction jobs. There's going to be concession jobs. There's going to be jobs working in the stadium. Is the stadium going to be open 365 where you could go in there, or is it only open in games and when the BPS is using?
Because it is a public
restaurant
asset, I think the desire is for this to be available to community at all times, except for holiday. I'm sure there'll be whatever schedule, but the desire is not to make this investment and then not allow anyone to enjoy it.
The stadium was falling. I'm reading some of the comments. The stadium was falling apart for the longest, and I didn't hear anyone complaining as much as they are complaining now. I mean, that's what we usually do. Traffic caused by a stupid speed. That might be a conversation for another day.
So I'm actually interested in this because, and we don't gotta but before I had this job, 10 years ago, I worked for Councilor Yancey. And he covered Codman Square, Mattapan Square, and other parts of Dorchester. And I remember in his office, residents were opposite complaining of
that we
need
needed
speed
more
bumps
bumps
because people are speeding down my street.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill people, with how they're speeding. But because maybe it's because the government wasn't responsive enough because it was another administration that we didn't implement the speed bumps. But it's like. This has been a fascinating experiment for me too, where like one day we'll say we want this thing, and then we do it. It's like we don't want this thing, and so it's interesting to me.
I think the speed bumps probably are a good idea because I know that like Boston people aren't great drivers, but I think that
it's a nice way to put it.
The issue is that when there's speed bumps like every 10 feet.
So on my through street, Harvard, what is it?
Howard Ave.
Howard Ave. I was going out, I said there's 10 guys.
Yeah.
I was like, 1, 2. I said, I don't have a chance to speed.
Like you wouldn't even have a chance. And and then I think that's fine. But even if they spaced them out more, you still wouldn't have a chance to speed.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I will take that feedback to my colleagues.
Like literally, I was like, no, let me do 1, 2, 3. And I was like, maybe that's not. I said 10.
Yeah.
Depending on which turn you take, it might be a life decision. Life-changing decision. Take a left, take a right. Oh boy.
You're going through the opposite streets. I'm avoid all 10 of these speed bumps.
Right.
But again, that's something that I think that eventually they're there. People are riled up about it. They'll eventually forget about them because they'll just be a part of the road in general. So, those are just some of the subjects that, have been pressing on the listeners and viewers for a while. And I'm really excited that you're here. What can we look forward to in the city of Boston for the rest of the year? We'll end there.
So first let me just say too that just yesterday some news came out about Boston Public Schools.
Yes. With the closing of the school, condensing.
And this administration has made some tough decisions that were kind of kicked down the road for a long time, which are tough to receive, but also part of extensive community engagement. And so what I'm looking forward to, first of all, we're going to save $10 to $20 million a year through this, but that's not the only thing we need to look at. But just to say that we encourage people to be involved, and to have their voices heard on this. So I'll leave it at that. Our office will be engaging small businesses on the matter to get some feedback from them. But I have been very appreciative of Mary Skipper and her team for making these tough decisions. In terms of what to look forward to, for all of our departments, this is a year of transition in terms of budget. A lot of the programming we've done have been funded by federal dollars. And so this is a year that we are looking for additional funding outside of that to help kind of move things forward. So like the space grant program, $10 million, really successful. It's going to, at the end of it, create 800 new jobs in the city.
Shout out to Pamela. She is a space grant guaranteed
that's
too.
Right. In the Cut.
Barbershop
Over
and
Nubian
Dudley
Square.
Sorry,
It's all right.
Nubian Square. Dudley. Nubian Square.
Economic opportunity and inclusion. All the way.
I'm gonna get it right one day.
But our office is there's so many things that we're focused on. So we're going to be continuing our work in supplier diversity. Last year, for the first time in the city's history, in 1 year, we spent more than $100 million with Black and brown companies.
Yes, amen.
40% increase in what we've done. So we want to continue that. The small business office is going to be releasing some updates to our Restore program, which I know a lot of small businesses have been interested in because the program was not really working in folks' favor for many years. What else are we doing? Office of Nightlife is going to be releasing its policy and programmatic agenda for
Shout
the
out
year
to them,
shortly.
us.
It's going to be a very busy year.
It is.
And we have our work of attracting new companies. Last year we had a bunch of new companies open up.
We
that
just
created,
got Car Gurus.
Well, yeah, they just opened up, and who else? EV Passport. A new life science company, but all these companies are bringing hundreds of jobs to the city, which are important. And we encourage all those new workers to take the T and not drive in, because we are the eighth most congested city in the country and 12th most congested city in the world.
What?
I have a question about consumption. Do you have any updates on that?
Well, didn't the CCC? I'm not as up to date on regulations, but I was just talking to Commissioner Nerys Camargo the other day. I know they just passed something around social consumption, some of the guidelines around it. In terms of timeline, I don't have an answer for that yet, but I always encourage folks to reach out to Shakia, who's like the nationwide expert, you know, on this. But we're going to be supportive of whatever measures that help to support entrepreneurs, but also, I mean, it's legal in the state, and we want to help meet the demand of the voters.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. That I'm grateful that you are answering a lot of these questions. Just a personal question: how are you doing? You have a large role. You have a very forward role. You're always out there. People know your name. Mental health check-in. How are you doing?
Fine.
I like that. I like that.
She good as that. He's a soldier right now.
Fine.
I'm good. Okay. You see me here, I'm breathing and things like that.
I'll say one thing that I heard in your voice. The whole interview. I heard fight. I heard fight. I heard that. I felt your passion. You know. I
mean, people. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. I think it was Trisha, and you know, like people often look to you as someone who is, you know, in a very much black man type of role, and you've maintained that you'll never run for like political office.
Yes.
And I think that there are people that are like, yo. Immediately, if Shagun came out with something, I'm there.
Yeah.
Why? How come you've made that decision preemptively?
Well, I'll just say, and first, I appreciate that, and we'll just say that this is absolutely going to be a year we got to fight because, you know, everything we've been doing for the last 3 years is going to be made illegal by this new federal administration, but we're still going to be doing it. So, you know, Donald Trump will have to come with his handcuffs and arrest me, you know, to get us to stop, you know, supporting communities of color. But, you know, on the question about, you know, running, you know, it's a very Boston and Massachusetts thing, right? And in other communities, I don't often hear people being like, that young person is doing great stuff. They should run for office. It's more of like, they do great stuff. We'll support them. I think my career has shown that you don't need to be elected to make change happen in your community. And I feel like there has been this feeling that the only way to make change happen in our community is to run for office. And, you know, the first thing I ever did was team up with Shakir to start a group to get body cameras on police officers.
Thank you
for
that.
The mayor didn't want it. The commissioner didn't want it. You know, other people were saying, nope, best police force in the world. And now officers are like, thank you. Because body cameras and residents are
keeps us safe as well.
But we weren't elected.
We
were residents. We started a thing and said, we're just going to focus on this. Then when I'm at BECMA, all the changes that we made to get more money, more contracts, et cetera, to black business, I wasn't elected. But because of the advocacy, we were able to do whatever. And now in this role, you know, not elected, but we have an elected that's like the people
doing
around
the
me,
thing.
go do what you do best and make the city better. And that's what we've done. And so, you know, I say all that to say that, like, you know, will I ever run for something? I'm going to say never, even though say never. But, you know, but it's also to kind of prove the point that, like, you can, the way someone said it to me before is that you don't have to change the whole world, but you do have to change someone's. And I don't need to spend time campaigning in order to do that. I use my position.
And in some ways, it's probably better to do the work without being elected because you're just, you know, like you're always in the limelight. You're held to this high standard, and it's, you know, your failures are highlighted if any. So keep doing the work that you're doing. I also like that you, like Tristan said, very, very positive and also very confident, and that's what we need these days because a lot of people are just so unsure. So you speaking with confidence about things that are happening in Boston is very,
they don't like that. They don't like to hear confidence.
Black
man voice.
And I asked that question only because it's, you know, it's conversation and talk. I technically don't want you to run anyways because I just feel like, you know, there are certain black people that we really need to protect. And I feel like you're one of those people that should be protected at all costs because I've never
to be effective.
You
don't gotta be elected to be effective.
I've heard, you know, like how things can eat you up and kind of take the passion and the fight out of you. And I think that we need to just see more images of people like you who stay positive, who, you know, are doing the work. We can see the work. And, you know, shout out to Mayor Wu. She has a big job. And she's gonna have a little baby.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
I know.
And
when
that's
is our baby's coming soon.
our Boston
It's
baby.
supposed to be January 15th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, next week.
Which
a
is
week
funny
from
because
today.
that's like Martin Luther King's actual.
Yeah, it's like that's cool. So things like that. She's got a strong fight with her, and we'll talk to her
But she's a
soon.
fighter,
Anyways,
too,
yeah, she is. That's what
Fighter,
I
man.
like about Mayor Wu.
Mm-hmm.
She got a lot of talk about her, and what I see is she never backs down. It's like, okay, what are y'all going? This is what y'all said y'all wanted.
Yeah.
Now I'm giving it to you,
Yeah.
and now it's a problem. But I like people that are just like, you say it. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get it there. If I can't get it there, then I'll try to work on it for later. So shout out to the administration in general. You guys for my opinion, you guys are doing a great job.
Well, it's the most diverse.
I appreciate it.
For me, the shout out to the mayor is not just the fact that it's the most diverse cabinet, which every mayor that comes in will say that, but the fact that we're in roles that matter.
That matter.
So like,
yeah.
In addition to myself, you got
Brianna.
you got Brianna
Jessica.
running community engagement, Jessica communications,
Irish.
Cox running police department, Chief Irish running operations, every building, ISD, et cetera, in the city. You've got Basola, Dr. Ojukutu, who's running the health commission.
Yeah.
You've got Isaac with public safety. Who am I leaving out? Rebecca with education. I'm trying to see all the people that I see in my head. So, but and I'm sure I left someone out and someone's gonna be mad. But just to say that, like, black folk are
Blame
in
his mind, not his heart.
like
Everybody's playing their
positions
role.
that that matter, and I think that's also why you see more of us. Like, so I appreciate too, where like, yeah, folks know me, they come up to me, but I think that's also why the push for diversity is important, because people have access to government who have never had access to before, because they know someone who's there and who has answers, who's going to deliver for them. But what I will say is, and I appreciate all the nice things you said, but just to say that I hope it will be an example for others to also step up. 'Cause I think where our community could do better is not anointing people as the person to do the thing, but rather we should all be working together to move that thing forward, because I think, we're going to be celebrating Martin Luther King Day soon, and one of the downfalls of the civil rights movement was that it was invested in that one figure that when killed, everything splintered.
Nobody knew
and,
what to do.
and things just kind of, went different ways. So this is a time for all community to stand up and push, especially with the threat coming from DC.
Whew, say that.
Sorry, not to end it up.
No, that is a great note too, because we got to be realistic at the same time as just opening our eyes to what's going on. Like the song UNITY, shout out to Queen Latifah. We have actually come to the end of our show. So again, thank you for spending extra time to answer questions that everybody wants to know. Again, we touch base with Shagun every quarter just to keep you guys abreast, let you guys know what's going on. Everybody always want to know what's happening. Well, make sure that you guys know what's happening. All you got to do is give it a share. Keep people locked to Spark FM Online. Shagun, thank you so much. Happy New Year. And we wish you all the best. With that said, we are out of here. Bobby Steels is up next with the greatest damn midday show on earth. Keep it locked from 11 to 1 o'clock, and we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Stay warm. Saucy and Friends in the morning. Good boy.